ओम सदाशिवसमारंभां शंकराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। ओम सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ओम शांति शांति शांति। ओम यश्छन्दसां वृषभो विश्वरूपः छन्दोभ्योऽध्यमृतात् सम्बभूव समेन्द्रो मेधया स्पृणोतु अमृतस्य देवधारणो भूयासं शरीरं मे विचर्षणं जिह्वा मे मधुमत्तमा कर्णाभ्यां भूरिविश्रुवं ब्रह्मणः कोशोऽसि मेधया पिहितः श्रुतं मे गोपाय। ओम शांति शांति शांति। ओम मेधा देवी जुषमाणा न आगाद् विश्वाची भद्रा सुमनस्यमाना त्वया जुष्टानुतमाना दुरुक्तान् बृहद्वदेम विदथे सुवीरा आह त्वया जुष्ट ऋषिर्भवति देवि त्वया ब्रह्मा गतश्रीरुतत्वया त्वया जुष्टश्चित्रं विन्दते वसुसानो जुषस्वद्रविणो न मेधे मेधां म इन्द्रो ददातु मेधां देवी सरस्वती मेधां मे अश्विना उभावा धत्तां पुष्करस्रजा अप्सरासु चया मेधा गन्धर्वेषु चयन्मनः दैवीं मेधा सरस्वती सामां मेधा सुरभिर्जुषताम् आमा आम मेधा सुरभिर्विश्वरूपा हिरण्यवर्णा जगती जगम्या ऊर्जस्वती पयसा पिन्वमाना सामा आम मेधा सुप्रतीका जुषन्ताम् मयि मेधां मयि प्रजां मयि अग्निस्तेजो दधातु मयि मेधां मयि प्रजां मयि इन्द्र इन्द्रियं दधातु मयि मेधां मयि प्रजां मयि सूर्यो भ्राजो दधातु। ओम शांति शांति शांति। So we were looking at the meaning of the second rik here. त्वया जुष्ट ऋषिर्भवति देवि त्वया ब्रह्मा गतश्री ऋतत्वया त्वया जुष्टश्चित्रं विन्दते वसुसानो जुषस्वद्रविणो न मेधे. So त्वया जुष्टः ऋषिः भवति means what? The one who is blessed by you becomes a rishi. Rishi means such a great person, those to whom the Vedas were revealed, and we look upon the rishis as somebody who should be worshipped every day, correct? In the Nitya Panchamaha Yajna, which you are supposed to do every day, one yajna is towards the rishis. So we always remember the rishi, and even when we think about our ancestors, we also count which are all the rishis who are really our ancestors. So like this, the rishis are great people, and if you want to become a rishi also, without the Medha Devi's blessings, you cannot be a rishi. Similarly, what Tvaya Jushtaha Brahma Bhavati. So Brahma means here either Brahmana you can take as the one who is born in a particular jati, or Brahmaji, even Hiranyagarbha, if you want to become the totality of all this entire world, whether it is physical or subtle, all put together, that is Brahmaji. So to get that Hiranyagarbha Padavi, the status of being the Hiranyagarbha also, without your blessings, it is not possible. Then Agata Shrihi Utatvaya, or one can become wealthy, that all the Shri comes to oneself, correct? So for that also your blessing is required. Further, what I think we were seeing this, Tvaya Jushtas Chitram Vindate Vasusano Jushasvadravino na Medhe is there. Dravinena Medhe also there is a patha. Okay. So there is a Patha Beda here. Dravinena Medhe, I think, is Andhra Patha. In fact, Sayana Bhashya, Sayanacharya has written commentary as Dravinena Medhe, not Dravinona Medhe. Meaning doesn't change much. Slightly we have to translate it differently, but meaning wise it's almost the same. So Tvaya Jushtas Chitram Vindate Vasu. Vasu means here wealth, I told you already, and Chitram Vasu means different types of wealth we get. So that wealth also, without your blessings, I cannot get. In fact, in our culture, one interesting thing is whatever we want, that itself is looked upon as Bhagavan or a form of Bhagavan. So here Medha is something we are asking. We want Medha. But the prayer is to whom? To Medha Devi. Medha itself we are looking upon as a Devata, as a Devi. And we are praying to that Medha Devi, saying that you have to bless us. And because of your blessing only, whatever we want, we will get. And whatever we want also, we have now, we are looking upon as a Devata and doing prayer to that Devata itself. See the beauty here. So, in our culture, we say that everything is Bhagavan. So, how that everything is Bhagavan has been brought into our everyday life. If you see, whatever you really want is also presented as Bhagavan only. What do we want in our life? Okay, you say, I want wealth. Okay, don't worry, wealth is Lakshmi. Specifically, you say, no, I want lot of money. Okay, Dhana Lakshmi, take it. That is also Lakshmi. Then what? Okay, what will I do with money? Can I eat money when I am hungry? I cannot eat money. And if there is a famine, even though you have a lot of money, what will you do? You are not able to produce. The same thing is happening now, correct? A lot of people are wealthy. Suddenly there is a pandemic. No oxygen is available. Even if you are ready to give, excuse me, some allergy for me. Even if you have money, you can't eat the money. So what do I do? I require dhanya. Okay, dhanya also is Lakshmi. Dhanya Lakshmi. Then you say, no, no. What is the big thing having all the wealth and food to eat? I want children. And I want good children. Okay, Santana Lakshmi. That is also Lakshmi. Correct? Whatever I undertake, endeavor, I want victory. Okay, Vijay Lakshmi. So what really whatever you want, they are all in the form of Lakshmi only. Okay. Then knowledge I want Saraswati. Power I want, that is also Shakti, Durga. So whatever you want is Bhagavan only. In fact, it is all presented as Bhagavan. The Ashtalakshmi we talk about, correct? There is a temple also in Chennai where we used to where we grew up. We used to go there. There is a temple on the seashore. Ashtalakshmi temple, very famous. So Ashtalakshmi, 8 types of Lakshmi are there. Okay. So already I told you few Lakshmis, correct? What about the other Lakshmis? In fact, whatever you can think of, everything is Lakshmi only. You can think of that whichever way. Already we talked about Dhana Lakshmi, Dhanya Lakshmi, Vara Lakshmi. Okay, before children, I want to have a good spouse. Without a good spouse, you cannot have a peaceful life. Means Vara. That also is Lakshmi only. I want courage. Veera Lakshmi. Correct? In fact, even Vidya is looked upon as Lakshmi. You can say Vidya Lakshmi also we look upon it, or Saraswati. So this Ashtalakshmi means whatever you want. It's all not separate from Bhagavan. Understand that. In our ignorance, we think that all these things are something different, or it's not related to Bhagavan. In fact, any pursuit you do in your life is not separate from Ishvara. It's not separate from Bhagavan. All these things are really Bhagavan only. And to seek that, then what? You have to seek it. There is nothing wrong in seeking all these things. In our culture, seeking wealth is not looked down upon or anything. Some people have a misunderstanding. In fact, for doing dharma karya, for upholding dharma, to do dharmic actions, one has to have wealth. Nothing wrong in that. And there was one whole varna who were actually their duty was to create wealth. Like how Brahmana's duty was to protect the Vedas, study the Vedas, and in general pray for everybody like that. Then there was one whole people, they were only supposed to earn wealth. But for what purpose? For spending it on dharma. And wealth itself is Lakshmi only. Whatever kind of wealth it is, you can think of, everything is Lakshmi. Mahalakshmi, that's why finally we say Mahalakshmi. Everything is really Lakshmi only. And to gain this Lakshmi, can you then do adharma? Tell me. To gain Ishvara, you also have to go in tune with Ishvara's laws, correct? You cannot go against it and say that I will attain Ishvara. All these things are Ishvara only, Bhagavan only. They are all manifestations of Bhagavan. And Dharma also is Bhagavan only. For us, Dharma is not separate from Bhagavan. Right and wrong, also we know. We know inherently, we know what is right, what is wrong. We are all born with that discrimination because we know what others have to do to us. At least up to that point, we are very clear how others should behave, what others should do to me. I am very clear. But when the same thing I have to do to others, problem starts from there only. So 50% everybody is ethical, or they know what is right, wrong with reference to themselves. They know how others should behave. Everybody should be kind to me. Everybody should be truthful to me. Even if I do a mistake, they have to forgive me. Fine. Then what about when the others do that? Are you able to do the same thing? Okay. Sometimes we are emotional. We are not able to see, or we don't have enough space. Then at least you have to recognize that and work for it, correct? We have to recognize that. In fact, we even have a very interesting prayer. We say, Kamo Karshit, Manyura Karshit, Namo Namaha. There is every day, in fact, there is a prayer in Sandhya Vandanam. We say that, and one day in a year, I think there is a separately you do this. Especially for the whole year, you say, whatever I did wrong, that also we look upon as a Devata. You say, Kama only did this. The Kama Devata manifested in me and did this. Manyu Devata also. Manyu also you look upon as a Devata. Manyu means anger. So desire and anger only made me do that. In fact, I am a good guy. I am really a very nice person. You see, most of the time I am a good person. But sometimes my desire and anger overtakes me. So therefore you pray to that also as a Devata. Say that you only, because of you only I did all these things. Now please free me from your hold. That is the beauty. Why that is important is, one problem everybody has is guilt. How are you going to overcome guilt as long as you think that you did it? You can never overcome, because the human problem is only two things. It is either guilt or hurt. Correct? Others are doing something painful to you, means you are hurt. So you are all holding on to hurt. In turn, what? Due to that hurt only, that pain again manifests as some anger, and you hurt others in turn. But the problem is, you know that it is wrong. Everybody does wrong things knowingly only. It's not that you cannot claim ignorance as a defense. So you also have guilt, because you know you did something wrong. You can give 100 justifications for that, but you know you have done wrong, and then that will lead to guilt. So these are the two basic problems, guilt and hurt. And our entire life goes in that. There will not be any peace then. If you have guilt and hurt, the whole life is gone. So how to overcome that? To overcome that, first you have to appreciate everything is Ishvara. Everything is in order. Even your misbehavior also is in order. Understand that. Nothing is beyond Ishvara's order. All that is here is manifestation of Ishvara. If you recognize that, not only that, but the implications of that also you have to recognize. What are the implications of that? The implications of that is, even if somebody is behaving in a wrong manner towards you, that is also part of Ishvara's order. But that doesn't mean you should not do anything. You need not get hurt for that. Understand that. You can take some action. If somebody is abusing you, you don't have to listen to that. You can walk away. But you don't have to get hurt emotionally. Understand that. You can even tell them, you are angry right now. I will talk to you later. That's it. You can draw your boundaries. If a mosquito is biting, you don't have to keep sitting saying, okay, I will donate some blood. Anyway, it is a pregnant mosquito. Correct? In fact, only pregnant mosquitoes bite you, it seems. So I am donating blood to a lady, pregnant lady. Like that, you don't have to sit. You can take some action. You can put some mosquito repellent on you. You don't have to kill the mosquito. Some people do that, correct? Sometimes we do it even involuntarily. Okay, because that when the mosquito puts the injection, in fact, immediately you don't actually feel it, because it also puts on anesthetic, it seems. But sometimes it puts that injection, draws the blood and keeps sitting there. And you recognize that pain only after a few seconds, and then you do like this. Means if it is still sitting there, it is gone. But anyway, what I'm saying is, you can take action without getting hurt or without being angry. Nobody tells you that you should not act in a situation. But act knowing that whatever the other person is doing is because of their own background. It is all part of Bhagavan's order only. Given their background, they are doing something. You don't have to become angry, or personally, you don't have to think anything more than that. One level, if you go means you can also take it as your own karma. According to your prarabdha karma, you have to undergo this experience. That's it. If you are able to see it like that, then you have accepted the reality. Now, accepting the reality is the greatest thing. Why? Because all sorrow is because of not accepting reality. All sadness also, there are difficult situations, there are pleasant situations. If you look at it like that, it is objective. But if the difficult situation comes and you think, why me? Why is it only coming to me, or why why it is affecting me and all that? This why me means what? You are not ready to accept it. You are still thinking, why should it come to me? Means what can we say? We can say only karma. It's all karma. You have to undergo this unpleasant experience. That's how it is. If you accept it and then, okay, this is my karma, let me do some prayaschitta. Let me try to take some corrective action. Let me do everyday prayer so that I can even mitigate it. See, normally, many of you are all working. You are all involved in some project in your work. So in every project, what do? You do risk management. What is this risk management? Means they identify all the risk, and then you also have to note down what are all the corrective action and mitigation. Also, mitigatory means the risk should not occur. For that, you take some actions. But in spite of that, what if the risk happens? Then you should know how to take corrective action also. All that you note down. Now the experts are saying whatever you have identified is not even risk. So real risk is whatever you have not even identified, that is the real risk. That is also true, correct? Because our knowledge is only so much. That is another thing we have to accept. We are all limited with reference to the knowledge we have. So many things are there, unknown variables are there. How are we going to account for all that? Suddenly a pandemic came. Nobody thought about it, correct? It is not there in your risk plan at all. So what are you going to do? So the ones who have accepted the reality, they can take action. They will prosper. They are not hurt. It is unpleasant, it is difficult, but you are doing something. But if you are sorrowful, see, sorrow, sadness will immobilize you. It will not let you do anything. You are only sitting there, why me? Having self-pity. That's not going to work. You have to take responsibility for your own whatever situation. Either whatever you did in this life, or going one step further, your own prarabdha karma. That's what you are facing always. If you are able to accept that, then there is no sadness. There is only a difficult situation. You take action. It can be even in the form of prayer, or actually you do something about it, correct? So they say instead of complaining about darkness, at least light one matchstick or whatever. If you have something, you light the matchstick, light a candle. So have some deepam, start something. As long as you are doing something, you cannot be sad. And this understanding of Ishvara is everything. Dharma also is Ishvara. That is why you have to be in tune with Dharma. Whenever you are in tune with Dharma, you are actually in tune with Ishvara. You are in harmony with Ishvara. That's why we feel good also. You may have lost something also. Correct? You are going on the road. Somebody had an accident. You can just see that and go away. But if you are the one who got into accident, what will you expect? You expect somebody to help you. So if nobody else is there, no help is arriving, You have to help that person, correct? That's at least that is your own expectation from yourself. So then if you do that, what you are losing time. Maybe you had some urgent appointment and all that, you had to miss it, you had to apologize. But if you take that person to hospital or something, help that person, at the end of the day, what, you don't feel bad, you actually feel good about yourself. Why? You have lost time, maybe you lost money, but still you feel good. Why? Because you know that you did the right thing, correct? Whenever you know you did the right thing, irrespective of how difficult it was, that right thing to do, because doing the right thing is not easy, let me tell you. It's not easy, because many times doing the right thing means you have to go against your likes and dislikes. It's like swimming against the current. Going along with your likes and dislikes is the easy way, but it's not. It will only lead you to, like, you are going along the current, but later on there is a waterfall. What are you going to do? Correct. So what, you have to do the right thing means it is difficult. It is like swimming against the current, but you have to do that. If you do the right thing, then you always feel good, regardless of whatever you lost or however difficult it was. In fact, that is the teaching in most of our Itihasa, Purana, and all that also. You go and read, the whoever was a dharmika person, he undergoes a lot of difficulty. That's what we see. But even in spite of that, they all wanted to lead a life of dharma, because that alone will finally give you sukha also, happiness. There is no other happiness really. And once you are free to do the right thing, there is no greater happiness than that. That is the real freedom, correct? You are free to do the right thing. You are not under the spell of your own likes and dislikes. But even to go to that, we have to first appreciate that everything is Bhagavan. Whatever you want in your life, we have formulated all that as a manifestation of Bhagavan only. Everything is Lakshmi or Saraswati or Durga. That's how we are looking at it. So that is the vision. So here, Chitram Vasu Vindate. So the one who is blessed by you gets all sorts of wealth. Okay, all the Ashtalakshmi, we have to say. And such a you, Sa Naha Jushasva. So the one who is like this, your blessing is so powerful. So what do I want from you? Please bless me. So that what? Bless me with what? Dravinena, like that Sayanacharya says, with wealth again. Hey Medha Devi, hey Medhe, the one who is like this, please bless me with wealth. Or please bless me, so that what? Naha Dravinaha means we all become wealthy. So continuing what? Medham ma Indro dadatu medham Devi Saraswati. Medham me Ashvina Ubhava Dhattam Pushkarasraja. So Medham ma Indro dadatu. So Indra Devata, correct? And Saraswati also. Indra, Saraswati, and who else? Ashwinau, Ubhau, Pushkarasrajau, means Ashwini Devatas also. They are again twins. Ashwins are twins. That's why Ashwinau. Pushkarasrajau means what? They are in a lotus. They were born in a lotus. So these Devatas, all these Devatas, Ubhau, Ashwinau, Adattam, may all of them give me this medha, bless us with this medha. Okay. May they give us this Medha Shakti. I want. So all these different devatas, may all of them bless me with Medha. Devi Saraswati, Indra. Again, Indra here, either we can take it as Devendra, or generally only Indra if you take, we can also take it as Parameshwara. Parameshwara also is called Indra. He is the Lord. Lord of all the Devas or King of all the Devas or Mahadeva. Parameshwara. May Parameshwara bless me with Medha. But since here Ashwini Devatas are also there, maybe it is more proper to take Indra here as Devendra. Okay. Or if you go with Saraswati, then we can say Parameshwara also. It's up to us how we look at it. Then what? Further again, what kind of Medha I want? Okay. So now we are saying Apsarasu Chaya Medha Gandharveshu Chayan Manaha. So whatever Medha is there in the minds of Apsaras. Apsaras are all in Devaloka, okay? Deva Kannika. Devastri, they are all. So all this, they are supposed to be dancing and all that, okay? Very talented in all the arts. So they are all divine maidens, you can say in English. Okay, those who are living in Devaloka, all these Apsaras, and they have this Medha Shakti. So whatever Medha Shakti which is there in the Apsaras, and whatever Medha Shakti which is there in the Gandharva. So Gandharva, again, they are special class of celestials, okay, who are again famous for their singing and dancing. Okay, and they have also Medha Shakti. So their Medha Shakti I want. And further what? Daivi Medha Saraswati Sama'am Medha Shurabhir Jushatam. Swaha also is there. If you are doing it as a yajna, at this place you do a Swaha also. Surabhir Jushata Guswaha, like that you have to do offering in the fire. When you chant without as a japa and not you are not doing a homa, we simply end it as Surabhir Jushatam only, not Jushatagum Swaha, that is not there. Here, that's what Daivi Medha. Daivi means here divine, like that you can translate, but really it is whatever is there with Hiranyagarbha, the totality of all the physical and subtle world that we look upon as Brahmaji. Whatever Medha is there with Brahmaji, that Medha. Okay. So here, Jushatam, okay, you bless us with that Medha. Samam Medha, Jushatam we say. Okay. And also Surabhi also is there. Saraswati, Surabhi. Means Surabhi means simply you can translate it as fragrant. Surabhi means fragrance, nice smell, okay, good fragrance and all that. Or so the Saraswati only we are visualizing as one with nice fragrance also. So being the one who is Surabhi, hey Saraswati, you bless us with this Medha which is there in the Apsaras, which is there in the Gandharvas, and which is there with Brahmaji also. Like that you can take. Or Surabhi means Kamadhenu. Kamadhenu also is known as Surabhi. And Kamadhenu is there in Devaloka. And Kamadhenu is supposed to give you whatever you wish for, correct? Wish fulfilling cow. So there is a separate story for Kamadhenu. So now we are saying, hey Saraswati, you are like Kamadhenu for me. Whatever I want, only you can give it. And so give me this medha, being the sarva kama dukkha. Okay, being the one who is fulfilling all my desires. Hey Saraswati, give me this medha shakti, because with medha only I can again get anything I want, whatever I want. For that, medha shakti is good enough. So like that, this is again a prayer asking for this medha shakti. Further what? Ama medha surabhir vishwarupa hiranyavarna jagati jagamya ऊर्जस्वती पयसा पिन्वमाना सामा मेधा supratika jushanta. So here, what kind of medha shakti? The medha, or what kind of medha devata? That way also we can look at it. So kidrishi medha, which kind of medha devi we are actually asking this? Means who is surabhihi again. Again here surabhi can be taken as one who is fragrant, or one who is sarva kama dukkha, one who is the one who is going to fulfill all my desires. And also Vishwarupa, the one who is appearing as all this entire Jagat, different forms, one who is appearing in all types of forms, correct? Vishwarupa. Also, or specifically, you can take all types of knowledge also. Sakala Veda Shastra, the one who is appearing as all knowledge. That's why Vishwarupa. Because she herself has the capacity to hold all this knowledge, and we are asking for that capacity only, correct? To learn, to retain, and to recollect. So she is having that, this Medha Devi, she is Vishwarupa, all knowledge, she is the storehouse, she is the one who is holding Sakala Veda Shastra Dharana Kshamatvat. And Hiranya Varna, she is shining like gold. Shining means knowledge is always associated with light and shining, correct? Because it's consciousness. Only a conscious being can have knowledge. Jada, or an insentient thing, doesn't have any knowledge. That is why Hiranya Varna, one who is shining like gold. Okay. And Jagati means one who is there everywhere. So this is again all pervading. That's why Vishwarupa we have to give a slightly different meaning, because Jagati also is there. All pervading, one who is there everywhere. Sarvatra Vartamanatvena, being everywhere, and one who is the very Swarupa of this Srishti. Whatever you call it as Jagat, really the reality of that Jagat is nothing but this Medha Devi. That's why Jagati, one who appears in the form of this entire world. Jagamya also. Jagati, Jagamya means what? She is the one who is fit to be pursued. Okay, we are all pursuing different things, but whatever you pursue, it is not away from her. That's what you have to understand. That is the recognition you have to have. She is the one who is yogya to be pursued, one who is fit to be pursued, because she is the one who is also there in the form of all the desirable things. So Jagamya, and also she is Urjaswati, has all the power, energy. Okay, strong, Balavati. Urjaswati means one who has strength, energy. And what is she? How is she blessing you? Payasa pinvamana. So payasa means what? Gokshiradi rasena, like milk and other products of cow. Okay, that is called payas. So with that, she is nourishing you. Okay. So pinvamana means asman prinayanti, like that Sayanacharya says. So you bless us with this milk and milk products. You can take it literally, or you can take it as milk of knowledge and all that. Some people translate like that. You can take it like that also, because here knowledge is the main thing which is desired for. So here payasa pinvamana sama am medha supratika jushantam. Okay, this Medha Devi, may you please us with this milk of knowledge or milk and milk products, being Supratika, being the one who is pleased. So I want you to be always pleased. In your pleasing form, please bless me. Okay, so at this time I remember even Bhagavan gave Vishwarupa Darshana to Arjuna. Okay, so Bhagavan first if you read the 11th chapter of Gita, Bhagavan gives him Divya Chakshu first, divine eyes, because normal people cannot see the Vishwarupa. So he gave him that blessing, and then he shows the Vishwarupa. But Vishwarupa is not all pleasant, because there it is there, Kalosmi Lokakshaya Krit Pravrittaha. I am the Kala, Lokakshaya Krit, the one who is devouring everything in this world as the time. In time, everything has to be destroyed, resolved. Like that, he is not only the pleasant is he seeing, but he is seeing all these Ghora, unpleasant things also. Everything is Bhagavan. That is the Vishwarupa. For us, there is no that this is good, evil, and all that separate. There is only one Bhagavan. Bhagavan only is manifest as everything. That's why later on we'll see in Rudra, Ishvara is looked upon Stena Nam Pati, the chief of all the thieves. Naktan Charaha, different types of thieves also there. It is talked about there. One who comes at night. Okay, like this. Everything is Bhagavan only for us. That is the vision. Whatever you may say is good, bad, bad also is Bhagavan. So, but here as bhaktas, we don't want to see that. So in the 11th chapter, finally, Arjuna says, okay, all this Vishwarupa Darshana is fine. Now you show your Saumyam form, he says. Okay, Saumyam means pleasant form alone you show. You be Mr. Krishna, I am fine. I want to see you as Krishna, the smiling Krishna. This Vishwarupa Darshana is enough, because he had fear also looking at the Vishwarupa. But the main reason for that fear is what? He looked upon himself as separate from Bhagavan. That is the fear. Understand that. As long as you think that you are separate from Bhagavan, there will be only fear. If Bhagavan is everything, can that Bhagavan be different from you? So your body, mind, sense complex also is Bhagavan only. All that is also functioning within the Bhagavan's order. So that is why first we have to be able to accept ourselves also. Accepting others is one thing, and accepting oneself is a bigger problem for many people, because you have more expectations from yourself, and then you look upon yourself as a failure because you could not fulfill all your desires. Okay, but the problem is your vision itself is wrong. Fulfilling all desires is not success. Nobody can fulfill all their desires. So everybody is a failure. Or if you are able to manage your desires, that is success for us. You are the master of your desires. In spite of your likes and dislikes, you are ready to do your duty in a situation. You are ready to do the right thing. In fact, you are free enough to do the right thing. That's what I keep saying. Then you are successful. So anyway, here we are saying, oh, hey Medha Devi, you come as a pleased person and then bless me. Supratika Jushanta. Okay. Like that, Arjuna also says there, I told you, in the Vishwarupa Darshana chapter, he says, finally, you show me your Saumya Rupa. Because this is, I'm not able to see all this Vishwarupa Darshana with all the whatever other side of you. Then what? Mayi medham, mayi prajam, mayi agnistejo dadhatu, mayi medham, mayi prajam, mayi indra indriyam dadhatu, mayi medham, mayi prajam, mayi suryo bhrajo dadhatu. So this actually, this portion is not there in the Taittiriya Aranyaka. In Taittiriya Aranyaka, the Meda Sutta ends with this Supratika Jushantam. In fact, then the Aranyaka continues, very interesting, with a very popular mantra. Maybe some other time we'll see that. Sadhyo jatam prapadyami sadhyo jata yavai namo namaha bhave bhave nati bhave bhavasvamam bhavot bhavaya namaha वामदेवाय नमो ज्येष्ठाय नमः श्रेष्ठाय नमो रुद्राय नमः कालाय नमः कलविकरणाय नमो बलविकरणाय नमो बलाय नमो बलप्रमथनाय सर्वभूतदमनाय नमो मनोन्मनाय नमः. Like that it goes. That in fact we used to chant it every day in our temple. So now when I see all this, read the Bhashya, it is very nice. It continues with that. Taittiriya Aranyaka. So this has come, but when we normally chant the Medha Suktam, this we chant. Mayi Medha, Mayi Prajam, Mayi Agnis Tejo Dadhatu. So now we are asking other Devatas also. So may Agni Devata give me this Medha and Praja. Praja means here no, good children and Shishyas along with Tejas. So may Agni Devata give me Tejas and Medha and Praja. That is the prayer here. And further what? Mayi medham, mayi prajam, mayi indra indriyam dadhatu. And Indra, Devendra, but Devendra also is Jitendra. Jitendriya, we say, correct? Jitendriya means who? The one who is the master of one's own senses. That is the great victory, in fact. If you are able to master your sense organs, and because natural tendency for everybody is what? Or every indriya is what? To go after the sense objects. Every sense organ goes after the sense object. And if you lead your life like that, you are an asura. That's what it is said. Even in Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, there is a story. The first chapter, third Brahmana, the asuras and devas are fighting each other. Then asura is whom? Asura is the same indriya there. When the indriya is going after the sense objects, it becomes asura. Or indriya is working for only itself, it becomes an asura there. Then when does it become deva? The same indriya becomes deva. When you do things according to dharma, according to what the Shastra says. So if the indriya pravritti is in accordance with Shastra, then that indriya becomes a deva. Otherwise it becomes asura. Like that there is an interesting story. And at the end only this famous vakya comes. Asatoma satgamaya tamasoma jyotirgamaya mrityorma amritangamaya. That is there in that story only. At the end of that story it comes. So here indriyam dadhatu means what? Okay, you give me good sense organs which are all functioning well. Along with Medha and Praja, we are asking Indra. But not only that, you give me indriyas such that I am also able to use them in the right way, also is included in that prayer. Otherwise, that prayer is not useful, really. So you have indriyas which are functioning well. That is not enough. I am also able to use it in the way the Shastra has mandated, not for just going after sense objects. I am able to use my indriya to do dharma karya. So that's what I want. Hey Indra, Indriyam dadatu. Mai medham, mai prajam, mai suryo, bhrajo dadhatu. Next is Surya. Hey Surya, Surya Devata. Okay. Bhrajaha means here brilliance, we can say, because Surya himself is so bright. So may you give me that brightness. So brightness here means in terms of knowledge. Being bright means what? See, some people have knowledge, but they can still be tube light. Tube light, we say in India, somebody takes some time to understand even something which is obvious. So he may be knowledgeable, but you tell him something, he is not able to understand it quickly. Such a person we call tube light, because tube light, it takes sometimes, it takes a couple of times, seconds, or it flicks and then only it starts, because there is a starter is there in that, correct, regulator. It may not work correctly. But nowadays, you have all these LED lamps and all that, you switch it immediately, it is bright. So like that, brightness here means what? The ability to connect and understand. Then you are a bright person, correct? Immediately you are able to connect, you are able to see all the implications, and you are able to understand. So may I have that brightness. Hey, Surya Devata, give me that along with Medha and Praja. So that is the prayer here. Then there is also a Gayatri mantra also. This is again not part of the original Medha Suktam. Mahadevyai cha vidmahe Brahma Patni cha dhimahi tanno vani prachodayat. So again, all Gayatri mantra is about Bhagavan being the one who is impelling your mind. Okay, may Bhagavan means, what is the prayer here really means? May Bhagavan make me choose the right things in life, because life is all about choices. In fact, there is no real choice between right and wrong. Between right and wrong, always the choice is right. But even there are many rights are there. Which should I choose? So for that also we approach it with prayerfully. All Gayatri mantra is essentially you are visualizing the Devata in a particular form and say that you are the one now, you impel me. You are the one who is sitting in my mind. Make me choose the right thing. That is the prayer. May you impel me to make the right choices. That is the correct attitude to approach life, correct? Because life is all about choices. And with our limited knowledge, we don't know how to choose. That also you leave it to Bhagavan. Then you are free again. Otherwise, you have to you take the success or failure of your choices on yourself and suffer for that also. So you don't have to do that. Leave that also to Bhagavan. Correct? So Mahadevi, hey Mahadevi, may I meditate upon you. You are also the Brahma Patni. So I do Upasana. You are the Patni of Brahmaji. You are the Mahadevi, Saraswati, and Vani also. You are the Devata of Vak. And may you impel my mind, my buddhi, so that I make all the right choices. Like this, we chant that and we complete. There is one more Hamsa Hamsaya also is there. Some people chant that Gayatri. So we chant this Gayatri mantra and end it. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Again, the three Shantis for resolving the three afflictions: Adhyatma, then Adi Bhautika, Adi Daivika, we say. So all the afflictions at the individual level, at the level of your surroundings, and even at the level of whatever is given by Devatas. In Devatas afflict you because of your own karma, but again, we want to resolve all that and have a peaceful life. So that is the Medha Sukta. We complete it here. We'll continue with some other Sukta next time. I'll inform you that. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.
धन्यवाद गुरुजी.
धन्यवाद.
Thank you, Guruji.